Hi there, my name is Shannon Gwin. I'm from Chandler, Oklahoma. I have a husband of 25 years, two kids, Emma and Evan, and we also have two dogs. We moved to Chandler from Norman shortly after I graduated from grad school. My first teaching experience is probably going to be homeschooling my children, and then I was also a tutor, a science and math tutor, while homeschooling to supplement our income at the time. Most of my experience, though, is teaching college students higher education. While I was a grad student, I was a research teaching assistant. And after graduation, I worked as a research coordinator where I was able to teach doctors and the med students and the residents and interns over the topic of research methodologies. And then from there, I ended back at OU Norman, and now that's where I am teaching mainly juniors and seniors in the health and exercise science department. So I wanted to first talk about data-driven instruction. Coming from a research background, that was particularly interesting to me. But data-driven instruction is basically merging the gaps between technological advances and our education system. This type of instruction seems to be geared more towards using data collection methods during the class time, and then being able to, or even after summarizing that data after the class time, or maybe at end learning points, maybe the end of the quarter, and then summarizing that data after it's been collected, and then using that and being able to properly identify the progression of the student from what you've gathered, from the information that you've gathered. Then from that information, as the teacher, hopefully we are able to identify any patterns in the student. Maybe you can identify their levels of mastery over a particular topic. Maybe you can identify different types of struggles that they're having, and then adapting your teaching methods accordingly. One of the examples that I like to share with you that I use in my class that would relate to this data-driven instruction is the word cloud. And so the word cloud uses an app. It's from the iPhone, and you have students, you introduce them of a concept, and then you have the students to describe in a couple of words what they feel that concept best covers, or what it's about. And then after they put their descriptive words in there, then the app creates this beautiful image, or this word cloud, highlighting some of the major points that they've learned over the concept. Sometimes you see that some people don't really have a good grasp, and then that helps you as the teacher make modifications or go over different concepts over the topic that they're learning. But again, just one example that I think is utilizing this particular instruction method. The next one that I wanted to talk about is differential instruction. This type of instruction lets teachers tailor their lesson plan for the specific needs of the student. So I think about for this, having just a large toolkit with a bunch of different teaching methods, a bunch of different activities, and then I can pull from that toolkit after I've learned exactly what the student may need, or what the learning style is of that student. Looking up this topic in my research, there was a name that came up often, Carol Ann Tomlinson, and she knows a lot about this topic, and she came up with 4 key areas on using differentiated instruction. One of the areas is content of subject. That would be important. So finding out what needs to be learned and what types of materials or resources would I need to teach that topic. That's over content. The process is the second area, process of learning, and this is coming up with the best activities specifically for the learner. Projects is the third area. This area gives students projects that they can show the teacher what they've learned. And so the fourth area that this educator come up with is looking at the learning setting or identifying the location where the child is learning, and is that location conducive, a conducive spot, the best spot for that child to be successful. Overall, I think this type of instruction would be really good for special needs children. It does focus in on all different aspects of the learning experience and also on the environment, and then from there being able to make changes and providing accommodations that is needed. That would be really important. An example that I can share is creating an alternative way to presentation. So a lot of my students are really stressed out about presenting in front of the class, and I would think kids with special needs, maybe ADHD or autism, they might feel really anxious, or maybe they get easily distracted. And so creating an alternative way to where they still can do the presentation, maybe at home in a recorded setting in a comfortable environment, and then showing the presentation, that would be an idea that may give weight to this differential instruction. So those are my ideas. I hope I've given some meaningful information, and thank you so much for listening.